Hello everyone. So this is Dhruv, and today we are going to study about interface Python with SQL. So the topics we are going to study are first is creating a database, and then second one is connection and cursor, and the last one is closing cursor and connection. So first we will study about what is database. So basically database, you can also call it relational database, and it is a collection of highly structured tables, and in simple language we can say it is a way of recording daily applications in tabular form, where each row shows data entity and every column defines some specific information field. Now, now question arises is how to create a new database. Like how can you create a new database in MySQL? So for that, you have to type the query. This is a simplest method in and it can used in uh, direct in SQL. So for that you have to type create database, and after that you have to type database name, and there will be no space between that, and all string values, or you can say alphabetical values, will be running, or in other language you can say in small letters, right? And for example, the example has been given in there on your screen, as you can see. To create a new database class 12, the required command, or you can say query, will be create database class 12 semicolon. And now we have created database in SQL, right? So now, but for after creation, actually it's not after creation but before creation. Before creating database, you have to make a connection between MySQL database and Python, so it can work. So basically Python is a developing language. By through we are working on SQL, right? Sorry for this. So for that, for making that connection, we have to import a function which is mysql.connector, and then mysql.connector, and this mysql.connector will use from Python to create a connection. And for that, you can see the example has been given, which is import mysql.connector, and the function starts with con, which is a connection variable, and then you have to type the function, main function, which is mysql.connector.connect, and then bracket starts, and in that bracket you have to type four defined specific entities, which is first host, and after that you have to type username, and after that you have to type password, and for a particular database, if you want a connection between particular database and Python, you can also type database, which is not so important, not that important for creating connection, right? And if you don't know what is user and pass of your SQL, you can type in SQL select current underscore user. Then you will be able to see what is the name of user and what is the password, and you will also able to see what's host, like who is host, right? So after creating connection, we also have to create cursor instance. So now now you will ask what is cursor instance. So cursor instance uh, is a special control structure, like when a database is a special control structure that facilitates sorry for it again. Yeah. So a database is a special control structure that facilitates the row by row proceeding of records in the result set. Basically, it's saying cursor instance, or you can say cursor, helps you in processing row by row records in result set, right? Like when you apply any command or any query in SQL, for that when result arises, so that will arise in row by row processing, and which is very important for making results, right? So for that, for creating cursor, we use the command cursor object and connection object dot cursor. And now the last topic is closing cursor and connection. So the database can only keep only some limited number of connections at a time. So we should close the connection using cursor object dot close, which you can see the bold letters in first line. In first line, there is written cursor object comma close, right? This is the function which is going to use to close cursor, right? And here example has been given, cursor dot close or my cursor dot close. And now to disconnect from the database, like performing all the operations by calling to, you can like for specific date, here it is written that for specific database you can close the collection also by using function close method. Example has been given here, connection dot close, right? And the question which has been there in sample paper of latest CBSE 2022-2023 12 boards is the question is, to establish a connection between Python and SQL database connect is used. Which of the following arguments may not necessarily be given while calling connect? So the options are host, database, user, password, right? So the correct option is database. As I told you earlier, while telling you about connection, the four entities were host, username, password, and database. And at that moment I told you that database is the one which is not important. You can make connections specifically if you want, right? But it's not compulsory, it's not mandatory. And that's all for today. Thank you.